In the beginning, when the world was young, mankind turned away from their Creator. Thunder splits the sky, apocalyptic lightning, black clouds heaving, billions of gallons of water exploding from the heavens. In brutal slow motion, terrified crowds pound the massive wooden ark door, splinters flying, faces stretched with disbelief and dread. Volumetric God rays struggle through storm-black clouds. Glowing white letters appear. The day God destroyed the entire world. A deep, warm voice intones the truth. Something terrible and unavoidable has begun. Violence filled the earth. Corruption spread like a plague through every city, every heart. The camera pulls back to God's vantage in the heavens, surveying darkened streets, towers of greed, and marketplaces where innocence is crushed. Volumetric light rays pierce the clouds, creating a stark cathedral of contrast between heaven's pure light and earth's moral rot. The presence of God is suggested in those rays, a heaviness, a grief that vibrates through wind and shadow. Children hide, elders weep, law becomes barter, truth becomes rumor, and kindness is crushed beneath boots of power. And God looked down upon his creation, and his heart was grieved. In a peaceful meadow, bathed in warm golden sunlight, Noah walks alone. He's an older man with a gray beard, hands calloused from honest work, eyes steady and kind. Birds pause when he passes. A worn hymn hums in the breeze. Pixar-level emotion fills his face, a quiet sorrow, a resolute faith. The warm, inviting light around Noah contrasts painfully with the darkness beyond the hills. There was one righteous man named Noah, who walked with God in a world gone mad. And the Lord spoke to him, saying, "Noah, I will destroy the earth with a flood, but you I will save. Build an ark of gopher wood. Make it 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high." Noah's hands tremble and then steady. Obedience steals him. For decades he labored, a relentless time-lapse of seasons, sweat, and faith. Hammers ring like distant thunder. Boards rise into a shape that shames the scoffer's laughter. Neighbors mocked. Children mimicked his gait. Merchants spat jokes. Groups gather, point, and jeer in slow motion. Faces contorted between scorn and unbelief. "Building a boat where there's no water," they said with cruel delight. The camera lingers on their sneers, then cuts to Noah's steady, patient work, measuring, plan by plan, beam by beam. He sacrifices comforts, sells small livestock, trades sleep for craftsmanship. Every plank, every beam, every nail is driven by faith in God's word. In the great slow build of the ark, we feel time stretching and faith strengthening, until the vessel stands like an odd cathedral of hope. Then came the day when creation itself seemed to inhale. From every corner of the earth they came, answering a call they could not explain. In stunning slow motion and golden sunlight, pairs of animals walked toward the ark. Lions stride with regal patience beside gentle lambs. Elephants trumpet, their wise eyes reflecting a strange knowing. Giraffes bend graceful necks to pass beneath branches as if in prayer. Zebras rhythmically trot. Deer and antelope move with soft alarm. Birds gather in darkening flocks and wheel above. The animation captures each creature's personality. A curious cub, a protective mother, a wary stallion, rendered with Pixar-level emotion but epic realism. Whiskers trembling, breath visible in cool air, rain-slick fur catching the light. 2x2, 7x7, predator and prey step in harmony along the ramp. Eagles soar overhead while sparrows dart between them. The camera pans across a tapestry of life, the miraculous peace between natural enemies, a gentle, unsettling sign. As the last pair climbs aboard, the sky subtly shifts. Clouds gather at the horizon, and the first chill of a coming storm whispers through the leaves. The sky grew dark. The first drops fell like tears from heaven, and then became a wall. Rain so heavy it sounded like drums of judgment. The windows of heaven opened. The fountains of the great deep burst forth with subterranean force. Water explodes from sky and earth alike. The ground fractures as underground springs surge. Rivers reverse, seas rage, mountains tremble. Ray-traced water effects render each droplet and sheet with terrifying clarity. Sheets of liquid glass, whirlpools swallowing streets, currents ripping roofs free. Lightning cleaves the blackness, revealing cities being unmade. Houses topple like toys. Massive waves roll inland with the unstoppable momentum of divine decree. The ark lists and strains, but rides the cataclysm with stubborn grace. In heartbreaking slow motion, the mockers who once jeered now pound on the ark's timbers, faces raw with regret, voices choking into the wind. Their laughter has been drowned by screams. The waters rise relentlessly, sweeping away fields, villages, and monuments of pride. For 40 days and 40 nights the deluge falls, and the old world is washed clean. Only Noah, his family, and the life sheltered inside the ark remain afloat in that shuddering silence of survival. But inside the ark there was a hush, not absence but a careful peace. Families kneel to pray, hands clasped, voices small amid the creak of wood and the whisper of animals. Months pass, the rain ceases, and the mighty waters begin their slow retreat. Noah opens a window and releases a dove into the vast, shimmering emptiness. The camera follows the dove over endless blue-gray water, over broken timbers and flooded trees until, like a small miracle, it returns with an olive leaf trembling in its beak. Noah's face breaks into a joy that has weight and relief. Days later, the ark settles and seems to breathe. The door opens onto a world washed and raw, but alive. The ground smells clean. A single triumphal rainbow arches across the sky, every color pride brilliant by ray-traced light and volumetric God rays. The ark rests upon Mount Ararat like a baptized relic. Text appears. God keeps his promises. This is the story of judgment and mercy, of a God who saves those who trust him. Remember, when storms batter your life and the world feels lost in darkness, God sees you, knows you, and will not forsake you. He is faithful, always, forever, and his mercy endures for generations.